What's going on? Welcome everybody who is tuning in to this extraordinary podcast. Thank you for tuning in as always. We are the Extraordinary Men. I am Phil Jones or Mike Jones, however you guys know me professionally. And I am the host of the Extraordinary Men podcast. And you guys know this gentleman that's over here on the other side of me. If y'all don't know him, he gonna introduce himself, but he shouldn't have to by now. 40 something plus episodes in. State your name, man.
What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of The Extraordinary Man. I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go.
All right, so first and foremost, we have finally scratched 300 subscribers on the YouTube platform. Thank each and every last one of you guys who have taken the time to view our content, talk about it, share it, conduct with it, interact with it, whatever have you. There's been a lot of really good growth all over social media between TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Hold on one second. Turn it off. Check it. Turn it off. All the way. So, with all of that being said, we are highly appreciative of everything that you guys have done up until this point because without y'all, there would be no us, all the feedback, all everything that you guys contribute. Much appreciation. Help us run them numbers up though. We trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark as soon as humanly possible. And with your help, we can get that thing done, but more on that later. So, King, how you feeling today?
Wonderful. I am wonderful. I had a situation with my truck. I still got that situation, but it's a little better because I can open the tailgate of my truck now. I just got to do it manually. So it is looking like that the BCM, or for those of you that don't know, the BCM is the actual brain or computer that controls your vehicle. It's looking like that module is functioning the way it's supposed to, which I'm glad because depending on what type of vehicle you're driving, it could be a four, five, $600 repair. Well, $400, $500, $600 just for that part. Then you still got to get it installed. So I'm happy right now that that part does not seem that it needs to be replaced. So other that's why I'm wonderful right now. I got four, five, $600 still in my pocket right now.
I'll take it any day of the week.
Yes.
All right, so let's have this conversation. So, for those who can see the title to this show today, what is the title of our show today, King?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I think a lot of individuals can really understand what that means and can relate to that. So we finna dig deep into that.
Oh, baby, we finna dig so deep in that one, up in here, up in here. All right, so what does it mean to play stupid games, win stupid prizes? It means that we all understand the fact that there's a such thing called consequences, and there are repercussions for those consequences and those actions for reaction and all the fancy synonyms that you could, all the things that Big Mama used to tell you back in the day about what goes on in the dark comes out in the light and so forth. This show is dedicated to the understanding that when you do stupid things and conduct yourself in a stupid way, there is swift justice for those actions, as there should be. Nobody is exempt from the karmatic rules of how the universe works. When you think that you slicking people and getting over on people, you may not get down, but you gonna get it when it matters the most.
Hmm.
When you take
Absolutely.
advantage of people and you do wrong by people, it might not even get you. It might get your kids. It might get somebody that you love. It might get somebody around you. But it always comes back and always comes full circle. So we're gonna talk about the stupid stuff on the petty side, and we're gonna work our way up to the grand scheme of things. So Midas, you got an example that you want to give of a stupid game that's played and a stupid prize that's won?
I think a real big one that a lot of people can pretty much relate to these days is, how about leading somebody on? within a relationship where you're courting somebody or you're dating somebody, insert whatever here, and your intentions isn't necessarily to actually build something for real with that person, but then there's a real consequence or situation that comes out of it, such as a child. So now you didn't built up this so-called relationship or fake ship because your intentions in it wasn't real. You was just in it for one specific thing, but then this consequence came after it. So congratulations. You did win the big giant heavy doll in the claw machine.
Do you remember when that one guy was circulating around, the one who was talking about the women that saying he was messing with, and about how with those women that he was messing with that, oh well, they got pregnant and I told them that I didn't want those babies and all this. Do you remember that when that was when that was circulating around?
Yeah, that was a dude that had like 7, 8 baby mamas. Well, he had more than that, but like 7, 8 of them, I think, kept the kid or something. I don't know, something like
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
It's like that's a prime example of a stupid game and a stupid prize. Now you
Hmm.
go out here and you soil yourself, and then you have the audacity to go out into the world and go and explain to the world about how trash you are and why you should be and why you should be absolved of responsibility for being so trash. And somehow we should have some level of sympathy for you for doing so.
No,
Where in the galactic universe does that work?
I mean, and he tried to justify it on the case that, well, I told them up front, they knew what it was. Um, I offered Plan Bs, and I don't know, insert whatever here, whatever excuse he had, but it still doesn't take away the fact that a child is coming. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. She decided to keep it, and you not wanting, and me and Marvin had this conversation too, and I wish he was here for this, but it's unfortunate. But your consequence is that you indirectly become essentially a low life, a deadbeat. Even though you had no intentions on having that child, but the child is here, and by you making it's not even a sound decision, but by you saying that you don't want to take care of it, you basically put yourself in deadbeat status.
Well, look at it from this point of view too. Is the fact that not only did you do that, but then you didn't do anything to prevent it either. For
Yeah,
somebody
because
to say,
he said he was raw dogging.
but here's the thing: you didn't do anything to prevent it. If you know that you want to go out here and just go commando, but you don't want the kids, go get snipped.
Commando.
You just want to go Georgia the jungle, by all means, but go get snipped.
Yeah.
Go get snipped. You have
If
all the
that's the way
control
that
over
you
that.
rock
You don't get to
it.
sit back and do because it's a reversible procedure. Go get snipped.
I personally, not me personally, as far as the snip, I ain't with the snip. But in his particular situation, if that's how he want to rock, if that's how he want to move, I can see it being a benefit for him.
But what I'm saying is the fact that it's an option that you are fully in
Yes,
control of. So regardless of whether the women knew or not, you had a part that you could have completely absolved yourself of responsibility by saying the kids couldn't possibly be mine. Like so I don't know what y'all doing. So rather than dissing a woman because of the fact that they're promiscuous and they have other lives and oh well I was able to get her with a McDonald's meal and all this other nonsense, regardless of trashing the women. What does it say about you as a man that you are dealing with trash women? So if you are a trash man and you're already a low totem pole dude, and the women that you are incorporating,
hmm
you look at them like they're below you. What does that say about you?
yeah, and I will play devil's advocate here and stand up for the ladies on that aspect. And this is coming off a video that went viral where a young lady was talking about that. she didn't choose. Well, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, and I'm really boiling down to maybe morals or how they feel about it, and da 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 da. That a lot of these ladies don't choose to be baby mamas, or they don't want to be baby mamas, and
Or you don't
sometimes
want the responsibility that comes along with unprotected sex. Let's just call it what it
they,
is.
yeah,
Because when you have sex with anybody, you know that that's an option. Nobody is oblivious to that. I don't give anybody a pass going outside having unprotected sex with anybody. You know that that is a possibility.
yeah.
Nobody is oblivious to the fact that this is the only gateway by which children are brought into the world naturally. So I don't buy it.
It's,
Hold on. We just got a comment from the one and only Jamila. Do you know what today? Do you know what today is? Her birthday anniversary. Birthday anniversary. Happy birthday, Jamila.
happy birthday.
And you better not have me talking to an empty computer neither. You better respond. Nah,
But
but
yeah, man, no, you right, Mike. You right. Hey,
let's
we go.
go.
I'm gonna give you a bomb for your
Oh,
birthday.
hey man, she 25 plus a couple more.
They
Women's
cash you out. They cash you out, girl. They cashing you out on your birthday.
women stop aging at 25. They just add it's 25 plus one, 25 plus two, and so forth. So no, I don't I don't believe in that. And it's like I believe that that's one of the greatest detriments that the world continues to do is that you give people a pass for irresponsible behavior. You were not taken. It wasn't taken from you against your will. You willfully participated in an act that has the potential of consequences. If I go outside with a pistol and I get into an altercation with somebody and I pull that pistol out, whether I just wanted to scare the person or whether I had intentions to shoot, I know that the possibility of him getting shot is there because I have the pistol aimed at him.
Well, I don't think that it's a person is getting a pass. I think it's more so that because there's things set in place for that person to take advantage of having said child or having said divorce, insert whatever here.
Mm.
We already have a system set up to where, oh, you had a kid? Well, come on over here, man. We got you. We got this, we got that, we got WIC, we got whatever, man. We got you. And it's too much an incentive to have that kid. Why not keep it? Why
Well,
not? You
let's look at it from this point of view.
know what I'm saying?
Let's look at it from this point of view. And again, it's like playing devil's advocate to the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, what we look at is we look at a specific social strata when we start talking about the incentives that the government offer and stuff like that. Obviously, we know if you're more of the high tier, mid tier, whatever the situation is, where there's actual money or actual assets involved, it benefits you because of the fact that you get unfeathered access to those assets. And when there's
Mm-hmm.
no assets involved, then you get direct access to the government and whatever it is that they put in place to be able to subsidize your living based on that situation. But regardless of the meager pieces of assets or finances that are given to somebody for having that kid, and again, it's like this is the duality of that situation, by the way, is the fact that the stupid game with this side of it is that the man knows for a fact that he's going in with ill intentions. Even if his intentions are not to get somebody pregnant, you're not doing anything to prevent it. Hey, nothing at all. Hey, I don't want no kids. So now I'm leaving it up to somebody else to make the decision with their body, what they choose to do once you've made the decision that you've made. but you are firm that you're gonna make the decision regardless of the outcome. And then you turn around and you get mad at somebody because they made a seemingly irresponsible decision in response to your irresponsible decision. That's a if so then situation because she could not have gotten inseminated if not for the decision that you made. You were the primary and her decision was secondary. It don't mean that two stupids don't make more stupid. It just means that you can't absolve yourself of the responsibility just because I say, hey, I want y'all to know it. I don't want it. I don't want the responsibility for it. Like, okay, I get that. But what I also get is the fact that you were very well aware of the risks when you did it.
Mhm.
It's no different than looking at somebody who sells drugs or somebody who takes the rent money and dumps it into a cryptocurrency hoping that they're going to get a quick flip on it. No different than somebody saying, okay, well, I'm going to take my life savings to this point, I'm going to throw it into an options trade. Everything comes with risk. And so what you are willing to risk either makes you a genius or it makes you an idiot. That's the
No,
duality of the situations.
you just got lucky.
That's the
If you
genius
throw
of it.
money, yeah, if you throw money at a couple things, you bound to something is bound to hit. Mr. Wonderful just got lucky a couple times.
Yeah. Say, I think it's the thought of this won't happen to me thinking.
Oh, boy, yes. That's definitely a stupid game. That's a
Oh,
big stupid game.
absolutely. Let's dig into that part of it. It's like you see how like in the other sectors of the manosphere, right, that we involved in, you start looking at where when you start talking about the concept of high value men and what high value men are looking for in women. And you'll have a group of women that will try to tell the guys that are in the stratosphere of what they're looking to be with or looking to reap the benefits of. Well, I don't think that that's true. How? When the guys who are in that circle are telling you what they want, and for whatever reason you think you can OnlyFans it, you can hot girl summer, you can post your butt on Instagram, and the story is just supposed to end well at the other end of the tunnel. Despite the testimonials from the porn girls after the fact talking about how the relationships
Corn,
with their families
corn,
were destroyed.
corn.
What's
Not
that?
corn. Not.
Uh,
We trying to monetize.
that's myself. Okay, so despite the situations to where you
Mhm.
have all these different elements which they are counterproductive to anything meaningful. So now what you find yourself in is that too many people have already come out to say that these actions do not lead to positive outcomes. But the instant gratification of because I'm the it girl now, there's an it girl coming every day. There's a new it girl coming every day. One of my sisters, she ran the cycle when she was that it girl. Everybody wanted peace, and she capitalized off of it, and it was good. But if you could sit there and listen to her right now in her 40s tell y'all about what happens when that wave dies off, it's a completely different story. It's a completely different story now.
Here's what it is, man. So yeah, you're right. You know that wave is gonna hit the shore. You know what I'm saying? At one point and another, and it's gonna fizzle out. So they think that no, scratch that. They know that they're gonna get somebody because of the fact that they're constantly getting hit up. They constantly getting money spent on them, flown out, dinners, bags, cars. You know, we talked about it before that the epidemic is at an all-time high. So, with that being said, they may not be able to capture the HVM, the high value man, but some beta out there is gonna take them. and not only take them, but take them with the understanding and knowing that this is what they do for a living. That they take hits for a living. That's how they make their money, and they gonna be perfectly fine with it because you know what I'm saying, they able to talk to some female, they able to get in the bed with some female, you know, there's some type of female interaction that, you know, she give me hugs, you know, just to have that feel, just the fact that she's around, you know, guys are willing to sacrifice her past for that, or her present, or what she doing for that. Some of these on here, some of them OF girls have men, boyfriends, husbands, or whatever, and they still doing it. So yeah, the chances of them finding a guy, very likely. The chances of them finding a guy that's actually going to take them serious, and the guy that they actually really truly want for real, to really have a real solid family and build a foundation and raise the children and all that, to find somebody like that, 1000% unlikely. But they
Well,
will find somebody.
yeah, and the thing about it is that at the end of the day is like the duality of a lot of the decisions that happen. When you have women who live a certain type of life and you have men who live a certain type of life. The whole thing is the fact that it's exciting for a period of time. You know, it's just like I remember years ago, I was talking to I forget who I was talking to, just just random banter you having with the guys. And
Hmm.
I noticed that there was just this thing that these guys kept doing to where they would always brag about what their women was doing for a living. Or the girl that they like, yeah, man, I just met this new shorty, man. Yeah, she a nurse, or she a such and such and such, or she got this going on, that going on. Yeah, she in school right now. She finna graduate with a degree in this and that. And I'm just sitting there looking like the correlation is always that it's a guy that ain't doing nothing. If not that he ain't doing a fraction of what she got going on. Like you feel like you came up. And then I'm gonna say this too, and it might not go over perfectly, but we're a man show. I take my responsibility. A lot of these guys were raised predominantly by their mothers. When I look at it in hindsight, oh, you got a girl that is successful because she's gonna take the place of your mom. So for you to leave from getting taken care of by your mother to wanting some other woman to come in and fill in the shoes of taking care of you.
I got to give him a gut punch. Mm.
That's what I correlate that with is that a lot of guys they don't have the competitive makeup that's necessary to take care of a woman. But even more so than that, they don't have any desire to take care of a woman at all. They want to be taken care of their whole lives. That's part of the business model.
Yeah, you know, some they hustle chicks, and it's like, and it's not to, you know, like down women or nothing like that, but it's like she's a nurse, she in school, she doing this, she doing that, and it's like that's basic grown adult stuff. You know, like you shouldn't be impressed by that as a man. You shouldn't be impressed by that. She in school. You should either be in school or already graduated or surpassed that. She a nurse, that's cool, but you should be surpassed that. You know what I'm saying? What she's doing should be an add-on. You know, not not like that. You shouldn't be looking at that as that's my come up. That's my next leg up.
You know,
Like
it's
how low do you got to be to look at it at a situation like that?
well, look at it from this point of view. In some people's mind, they're not low at all because this is all they've ever known. All you've ever known was a woman taking care of you, taking care of the guys around you. You do what you do, you hustle, you involved in whatever activity that you're in, and then the women around you. Because again, there's no fathers. You have no idea what a man looked like if you've seen one. Your idea of what a man is something superficial, something seen on TV. You don't respect a lot of people. You are entitled. You feel as if I don't want to do that because it doesn't pay any real money. I just I just can't see myself ever being in a situation where I gotta call my woman and say, hey, I need a repair done on my car. Can you go ahead and throw me $300? You see how your face lit up? You see how your
Never,
see how your
never,
face lit up?
never.
I just can't see. I can't just
That on the guillotine that second. You fall the fact that you had that thought, it's over with. Your manhood
just like
is over with.
like nothing else, huh? Just couldn't call your homeboy up, nothing. Oh God, you just couldn't think of nothing else to do.
No,
What?
no, you can't call your homeboy because one,
You
you and
broke
your
too.
homeboys is all in the same boat. You and your homeboys is all in the same boat. Y'all all have the same thought process. Y'all all broke. So you can't call your homie. You ain't got nobody to rely on. Or you can't call your homie because you burnt all your bridges. Because you just that type of dude.
You know what makes people think that having a broke circle is something to do?
Hmm?
When you sit there and you look at people that's around you that can do nothing for you, but depend on each other for minuscule. I'm gonna take this someplace. You gotta scratch my beard a little bit because this might be a little
Mhm.
controversial. I'm gonna go there. There's a lot of people that are trash. And let me tell you what I mean. Let me look directly at the camera and tell you, because I might be talking to you and you might not know it. Not you, but you, the viewer. I might be talking to one of y'all and just saying something that y'all might not like, and I respect it. It is what it is. But a lot of people are trash. And what I mean by a lot of people are trash, I mean that people have these mentalities to where they literally wake up every day trying to figure out how they can deceive, how they can use, how they can take advantage, how they can step up and leg up, and they have no genuine intention for the person they're actually planning on utilizing. So it's like you incorporate people into your life solely to take advantage of them. You want to find people who are good resources, and you only want to suck the resources out of them, and then level yourself off to find the next sucker at a different level.
Mhm.
You're literally a pariah. That's it. That's all you got. There are some guys that their whole mating strategy is to find somebody to lay up on, pop a couple kids in her, and dangle the carrot of one day being in a meaningful relationship, all the while that she's pretty much your landing zone for you to do all the stupid stuff that you want to do. When I heard about the foodie call, I was
Mhm.
flabbergasted. You mean to tell me like legitimate again, just asking. There are really women out here that will take your number, exchange in conversation with you for however long, get you out just to get a free meal off of you? That's a thing for real?
Yeah, that's been going on for a while. Absolutely. And not only get a free meal off you, but you best believe she walking out with doggy bags because her man back at the crib, Tyrone, that's dogging her out. She gonna feed him. Her little man, her son, she gonna feed him. Her little mama, her daughter, she gonna feed her. Yeah, she walking out with doggy bags too. It's rough. It's rough out here now. Like and it used to be to where it was done with a little bit of class and it had a little bit of dignity behind it, a little bit of secrecy, but it's all out in the open now. They'll tell you right at the table. I'm taking this home to my man. That's where we at.
I wish there was a single guy available that I could cross reference some of this off of, because I would really like to know. what his thoughts are. But I'm just disgusted by the fact that we have such low standards. And by we, I don't mean people at large. I just mean in general, it's like people have such low standards for themselves.
Here's gonna ruffle some feathers right here too. Men's standards are low, and I'm speaking directly to women, and you can inbox me all the knives and everything that you're gonna stab me with. But men's standards are low because women's standards are low. Check this out. If women collectively all of a sudden said, if you ain't wearing three-piece suits, do not form your lips to even say hello to me. I only talk to men in three-piece suits. I guarantee you that men's warehouse is gonna be flooded. DXL is gonna be flooded. Modern man, well, no, modern man don't sell suits, but wherever, you know what I'm saying, that
Wherever the
sells
suits are sold.
wherever the suits at, they stocks is finna go through the roof because all the fellas is finna get out here and start buying suits because the women ain't talking to men without a suit on. If women out here made a standard, I don't talk to dudes that sag their pants and they got their drawers everywhere and they wear Jordans and dreads. It's gonna be dudes walking around here with their pants up. They gonna have on some nice shoes. They ain't gotta be Jordans, but they have on some Adidas or whatever, some nice shoes, and they gonna have a fade. Men's standards are low because women's standards are low, and men gravitate and move and operate around how women are moving. That's just what it is.
So what you saying, and I want to make sure I'm clarifying this, is the fact
Mhm.
that men's mating strategy adjusts to the desires of women.
Yes, it's always been that way. Yes, yes. If I think about it, if I know for a fact that me having the money, me having the car, me having the body, me having the boat, whatever it takes, because I know that is attractive to women, I'm going to bust my butt and go get that because that's going to put me in a nice position to be able to pull whatever woman I want that's attracted to that. Yes, it's always been that way. When women step up and decide to come together as a group, as a collective, and determine this is what we want, this is how we gonna move, this is how we gonna rock, men are gonna slowly start to move in that direction, to move that way. Do not talk to me if you don't have a job. If you a street pharmacist, do not come my way. Period. Period.
So everything boils down to the requirements of women at this point.
Of women, yes. Yes, real talk.
I,
Yes, we do what we do for the sake of attracting a woman, which then in turn gets a family, which you know what I'm saying, which turns into marriage, which turns to a family, and da 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 da. It's that whole trifecta, it's that dynamic. Yes.
I mean, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Like honestly, it's like I say here and I listen to that, and it's like it makes perfect sense because I sit there and I think about all the things that I have done to try to be attractive to women. From everything from haircuts, everything
Yeah.
from going to the gym, everything from attaining some level of status. The thing about it is that some things are just innate in me to do just because of the fact that you want to be in a position to take care of the ones that you love. But that is also part of the mating strategy is the fact that whether it's for this woman or whether it's for this woman or
Correct.
these women, whatever the arrangement is, you want to be in position to get the best option available to you.
Exactly. Exactly. So
So if I know that there's tiers, then I know that there's some that are only going to deal with a CEO status dude.
correct.
There are some that's only going to deal with the top of the food chain guy, and
Correct.
you're not going to get her. No matter you won't even know she exists because you're not even running a social circle to know that that type of beauty exists outside of
Correct.
Instagram.
Correct.
It's like even with the concept like the passport bros and stuff like that. I hear a lot of slander toward the passport bros. Now, mind you, I'm somebody who I don't feel that in a place where it's 330 million people that it's impossible to find a woman. I don't think that that's true. I believe that
I know I have
Western society, from the outside looking in, they have a tendency to judge things as a whole. It's almost like you'll look at 2 billion people in China. And then when we look at China as the industrial power. We look at China as the this thing rather than if I go to China, I'll come to the realization it's a whole different kind of China than what I think it is. Just like your experience as an American is not the same as my experience as an American. But we're not seen in that same light. So I say that to say this: when it comes down to the variation of the women that are available, I don't say that there is a. I wonder for a lot of guys who are passport bros or who apply to that philosophy, how much traveling through the United States do you do? Are you just burned out with the central area that you are, grabbed a passport and took off? Did you move from Cincinnati, Ohio to Dallas, Texas, and you still get burned out? You still get bummed out, you still get dogged out? Is that indicative of the women, or is that indicative of you and your lack of what it takes to be competitive in mating?
I think it's a whole factor of things.
Mm,
One, as far as moving through the United States, no, I don't see any. I don't see that happening moving through the United States, especially when these so-called passport bros is posting all these videos and pictures and everything else to Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You don't really see them moving through the United States like that at all. Honestly, really not at all. So it could be um, that yes, they were burnt out from the women in their area, just gave up on it, and probably came to this conclusion that if a majority of the women that I talk to and deal with are like this in this area, chances are the ideology of how these women think is probably across the board. So rather than put myself in position, constantly trying to figure out and find and dig through all this dirt and pickaxe trying to find that diamond, why don't I just go to where the diamonds are? Like that makes a lot of sense to me.
devil's advocate.
Hmm.
Let's say a country like Dominican Republic.
Hmm.
In Dominican Republic, if I go over to Dominican Republic, are they vibing with me because of me, or are they vibing with me because I'm American? Because if that's the case, then Dominican men should be getting all the same act right that I'm getting because they're diamonds, right?
Supposedly
Supposedly. So
to
now
them,
also with the Philippines, but it's been many situations to where the women will come out and say that as we look at certain people like, oh, she's got an exotic look to her. We are exotic to them.
yes.
So the stuff that is regular to them, like you have darker skinned, I guess what you would call your black Filipinos,
Hmm.
they're not heavily sought after like an American black man is sought after in the Philippines.
Hmm.
So is it the ambiguity of the look?
Yes.
Or is it the fact that they're used to those guys and those are the inner words of their neighborhoods and in their society?
It's the same thing.
It's
The
the same
same,
thing. So there's no
same thing.
diamond. It's just the duality of the situation where this is viewed differently. Because when you look on the TV and you look on the movies, you don't see the men that's reflected in your neighborhoods or in your place where you are, but you see Idris Elba, you see Denzel's, you see whoever, insert black actor here, and then you have this fantasy about, oh, that is the representation of what the American black man must be from the outside looking in.
No, that's a representation of the American black man that's
Yeah.
highly sought after by the women here. That's what they
So
like.
so
I
now
want dark and handsome.
the thing is,
Always been the standard.
I would argue that there's a component of when you go someplace and you see something, it's like I would argue that the passport pro philosophy is more so one man's trash is another man's treasure than the latter. The only part that you can't argue with is the fact that there's no real data of people abroad coming to America looking for wives. Now,
No.
again, I don't know anything about it because the majority of the broadcasts that you see. But then again, if you have the means to be traveling looking for a life or looking for a wife, and you're looking for a like for instance, if you're from a country to where the GDP and the finances are less than that of America, because you got to remember that this is a powerhouse country financially. So you
Mhm.
got to have some money to be able to move around here. So you definitely not going to go pull the coming to America thing. We just going to go find a girl. Even he found somebody who was the daughter of a wealthy business owner. He didn't just go find some regular girl. Like it's still indicative of the mindset that it's like he came with his fortune, everything he had, and he didn't go and find some low level girl
Correct.
right off the street. He found
Correct.
somebody educated with class. That, and again, that's part of the movie that gets
That came from
overlooked.
money. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you look at that and you start asking yourself, okay, well, and again, this is no shade to the passport bros. It's just a concept of we talking about when we play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Perspective.
Yeah. So my thing
Simple
is the fact that I support a man doing what he feels that he has to do to be able to deliver his resources and prolong his family name. Whatever he feels that he needs to do, I support a man being a man and taking on whatever responsibility that he needs to, or whatever he feels that he needs to do in order to be successful at that thing. My only thing is the fact that I speak from a position of somebody who has never really had a problem with women. So I've never hit on somebody that was in the Holly Berry category.
hmm
I've never hit on somebody that was in the Megan the Stallion category or the Cardi B's as far as status is concerned. As far as I'm concerned, looks are relative. Because what I might think is banging and like, oh man, Shorty is just everything. You might sit back and look like, hey bro, she regular. Matter of fact, from the side, she a little decaf. So
hmm
I think looks are perspective, but if you start looking at status and looking at where they are, like as far as lineage, when you as a business owner and you go and you talk to a woman, there's a certain class of woman that is absolutely impressed with what it is that you've done because she comes from some place where, by and large, men don't do that. They don't dig themselves up from the bottom, create something to make it happen. Then you have that other group of women that is just like, oh, okay, you did that, good, yeah. Oh, you a pharmacist? Yeah, my uncle a pharmacist, and I got my brother is just finished up pharmacy school, and yeah, and so and so my best friend just finished his clinicals. This is regular. You can't impress me with that. You got to come with something else. So when we start talking about status, some guys are just not competitive, and the passport is nothing more than the easy button because I'll go someplace to where somebody's gonna appreciate me because of the illusion of the resource that I have because I'm American.
Do you think that you think that being competitive is tough? Some people just have it in you. Some people just have it in them. The eye of the tiger, they just got it.
I think it's
But
developed. I think that when you get tired of
I think it's
losing,
developed.
you
So
have to.
so
It's like it's a switch. It's something that says that once you are tired of receiving the results, if you're not one of those people that are just naturally the competitor, you got to get to a place to where you get tired of getting beat upside the head.
mhm,
So
yeah,
it's like it's not a natural thing. I think that it's like for some people it's innate. It's just what you do, and for some people it's man. Look, I know for a fact that it's like I can't compete with Jose Canseco over here on the baseball field. I know I can't compete with Michael Jordan over in the basketball field, but you know what? I can go compete with Bill Gates over here in technology.
mhm,
I can I may not be the best at cutting grass, but I guarantee you I can run the best. I can run the best lawn care service. I bet you I can get more guys out on the street with lawnmowers. I may not be able to do it myself, but my skill set, I guarantee you that I can be the regional number one when it comes down to getting these contracts.
Mhm.
But that's something that you got to desire. So I don't know. That's just my philosophy.
I mean, going back to what you said about how coming to America, how yeah he came over here, but he still found a woman that basically came from money, and kind of just want to just kind of slide in real quick that we talked about it before, how marriage, you know, you want to marry for love and all that. That's fantastic. That's cool. But the reality of what marriage is for, legacy, wealth, for protecting the wealth, growing the wealth, and things of that nature.
Validation
And he
research.
exactly he came to America and did exactly that. So I just wanted to make sure that we didn't just breeze past that with that understanding, because a lot of people did miss that point in the other movie. And I actually spoke to my lady about that like 2 weeks ago. Like, remember, he came to America, but he still went after a specific type of woman. He didn't just come here and just grab whatever and turn her into a dime, as they say. I'm gonna make her a dime. He didn't do that. He found a dime.
Because you sit there and you look at it, her sister was throwing herself at him, and he looked
Hmm.
at her as low value.
Hmm.
And the one who he had to fight for, who got mad at him because I felt like you deceived me because I liked you for who I thought that you were. I liked the content of your character. It wasn't based off of the resources that you actually have because you really, Princess Zamunda, I had no idea. I already had, I guess you could say, a decent or a wealthy dude or whatever have you. And I started taking a liking to you because of the other stuff outside of money. Which again, fairy tale, because a woman still needs to be supported. But for the part that mattered, you could tell she was cultured. She was raised properly. She saw value that money cannot purchase, which I would think that if I had to give a definition of a high quality woman, it would be how many qualities of a man can you point out that money can't purchase? I know I got a bomb coming somewhere. Like it may be
So,
like
check this out. In the nutshell, all you said was she was raised to be a wife.
she's raised to be a wife. Absolutely. And the thing is that if you remember in the movie, mother passed away and she was raised by who?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I
If you
missed it.
remember in the movie, she was raised by who?
Oh, her father.
And you remember what that statistic said that a two-parent household is the equivalent of
A one man household.
being
Or one,
raised by just your father.
just your father. Yeah.
I didn't make up the statistics.
No, we just report them. That's it.
But it's just like
Even
there's so many different nuggets in that movie that if you
yeah.
relate them to the information that we have available to us today, it was spot on to a bunch of different things. And I really think that we should have a study session. Matter of fact, I think we need to do a live reaction to Coming of America on one of our next shows.
Yeah, we can do that. Facts. We can definitely do that. We
All
need to
right.
figure out not get it copywritten, but
Well,
copyright
I mean,
flag.
we could take whatever samples that's on YouTube and use them
Yeah, we could do that for sure.
because if the movie is available for YouTube,
Actually, actually, Fair Use Act. We're
yeah,
using it for research, so I think that gets us around it.
we'll figure it out. I'll do my research on it.
And they can always go back to this video and they can see that we referenced it in the use of wanting to do research on it.
It's just that when I look at it, especially in a time like now, I really believe in my heart of hearts that that movie specifically represents a lot of extremely key points that we should be focused on when it comes down to mating strategy. Is the fact that as a man, you have to have more depth to you than just your finances.
Mhm.
What do you talk about? What are you into? What can you teach a woman? What can you bring a woman into? What social organizations are you involved in? Will you be giving her something that she can be a part of? Are there other women around? So it's like if you have a standard that you want for your wife, are you bringing her around other wives so she can be groomed into that standard? What's going on around you? It's like if you're just looking for somebody to fill in a void or to pick you up, that's one of the stupidest things that you can do. Taking your wife on a roller coaster ride, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That is a horrible thing to do. And I'll tell any man
Playing
to this,
stupid games.
yeah, I'll tell her it's a horrible thing to do because women, by and large, want to be led and they want to be led properly. They don't want to be led down a sea of dreams. They want somebody who knows where they're going. They want somebody who knows, who has a plan. They want to be involved with people who actually incorporate them into the plan. It's not all about me, 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 but it's about us. By
Yeah.
and large,
Keep it plain and simple. Not a stupid plan.
not a stupid plan.
Not a stupid plan. It has to be a well thought out, meaningful, beneficial plan that she can comprehend and can follow.
You
That's it.
know,
That's simple.
yeah. And I mean, it's like for me, I look at things from the perspective of the women that we have and the friends that we have and the different circumstances that we have. They're all based on something fairly simple. Like they're based on something really simple. It's all contingent on where's this going? What's the plan? You think about when you're in a car with kids, and you remember how we used to always say that reoccurring thing: Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we? Why did the kids do that? Because the man never set a level of expectation for the kids, so they keep asking over and over and over again. So there's no expectation, which means that you're leading me nowhere. So if it only lives in your head, you're not leading me anywhere. If there's not a plan, if I can't figure out what role I play in this, hey son, you hold the map. You don't have to ask me where we are if you're the GPS captain. You can tell me how much more time we got on the clock. I might tell you, hey daughter, you're gonna decide what we're gonna eat, gonna map out such and such and such to let us know when we get within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Your job is to find out what places to eat or what rest stops are in the area. You know that? That's a plan. And it's a plan that actually gives everybody something to do and they all know how they fit in it. And you know what that does? It frees you in the mental clutter of trying to figure out what you're doing. Because everybody knows what's going on, everybody knows their role.
It was on time.
It was supposed to
It
be.
was on time.
No delayed reactions.
Yes, sir. Man, this is spicy today, man.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. It's what comes along with being extraordinary, you know.
Yeah, I really hope that the ladies that come across this, you know,
All of them.
what Mr. Jones say is that this is
What's
strong
going on,
enough
Shakita?
but built for a man. So I really hope that the ladies that come across this really take heed to what I said earlier about that. If you change your standards as a collective, then men is going to have no choice but to fall in line and change their standards. You are going to have some that's going to buck against the system, but at the end of the day, if they want you, they're going to do what they need to do. So if you missed it earlier, I talked about how women as a collective need to upgrade the standards. The men have low standards. I said men have low standards because a lot of women have low standards. If women and men move and operate around how women move and operate. So if the woman is not telling men, you don't pull your pants up, you can't talk to me. Don't even look my way. If you don't have a job, don't come talk to me. You can't even look my way. You know what I'm saying, whatever. You don't fit my standards, you don't fit our standards, you don't get to come talk to me. You sit over there and stay over there. If women say we only want to talk to men that wear three-piece suits, don't look my way, watch how many men start running to the men's warehouse trying to grab three-piece suits because they want to talk to y'all. So if women decide as a collective to really band together and step up, but you got to be qualified women too. You don't get to be a thought and then still think that you get to have these standards. It don't work that way. If you are a qualified woman with these standards, and there's a collective of y'all as qualified women that have these standards, watch the. It's gonna be a world of difference that you're gonna see in men. Watch, but y'all got to come together and do that.
So yeah, I agree. I'm trying not to give up. Everything is so easy to access.
OF girls, I'm not talking to you. You know, corn stars, I'm not talking to you because you don't qualify.
Corn, bro.
I said corn.
Okay, now I can. I ain't here to see.
I said corn. But
All right.
yeah, thoughts, you don't qualify for this. Only qualified women,
You
only
know,
stand up women qualify for this.
the one thing about it is that ultimately every man is gonna get tired at some point in time of the same old same. Men get tired of running the streets. Men get tired and I really want it to be understood the fact that majority of men don't even have the option to run the streets. Majority of women don't like majority of men because majority of men don't have the option to run the streets. Now I know that sounds
Wait, repeat that
okay.
because that's a
I was going to clarify.
that's a
Majority
gem.
of
I mean, I
women
get
don't
what you're
like
saying.
majority of men because majority of men don't have the right to. They don't have the option to run the streets. He's not faithful to you because he chooses to be. He has no other options. You're just the only one that gave him a chance.
Mm, mm,
If you really sit back and you take time to think about it, what do you feel more gratification from? And this is talking to a woman. Do you feel more gratification from a man that you know can go out here and he could just go take his pick, but yet he come home to you every night knowing for a fact that he knows what he has at home? Or a man that you look at and say, you probably ain't even had none before I gave it to you.
mm.
That don't make you warm and fuzzy. And I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. It's like, oh, but he was so nice. He was so sweet. He was so charismatic. He was so this. He was so that. Most men do not have options in the dating market to just move around, ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Oh, men are dogs, men are cheaters, men are this, that. But men don't. A lot of men don't have the option.
Mhm.
A lot of men don't fit the bill.
Isn't it? Isn't the statistic 54% of men are single and childless?
54% of men up to the age of 30 are single and childless.
Single and childless. So how are all men dogs?
I think it's 20
You can
something.
take your pick out of 54%.
It's like 25% of them, like they're a virgin until marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's a bad thing, but at the same token, that's involuntary. A great deal of guys don't have the flexibility and the luxury that people think that they do. They don't. If you see a group of 10 dudes who hang out with each other, one, maybe two of them get action. And that might not even be on a regular basis.
I think what goes overlooked is that how much work and effort and time and energy that it goes into trying to get paid. It takes a lot, bro.
It's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of energy, a lot of patience, a lot of
Mhm.
emotionally checking yourself in order to convince a woman to lay with you. It's not an easy task because of the fact that a woman understands the fact that she holds all the keys.
Mhm.
And then it's like if you ask any woman, it's like I think they said it's like they know within like the first five was it, like 5, 10 seconds, whether or not they
Five,
will or
10 seconds.
wouldn't.
Mhm.
Like you already compartmentalize the second that you walk in the room. She look at you like, ooh, he could get it.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't really realize the reality of men, and it's like men lie a lot. They overinflate, and a lot of women underinflate or
Well,
deflate.
We have to, because it goes to that old saying that men like what they see and women like what they hear. So I think that's why.
Yeah,
It's just perspective.
yeah, just perspective. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm one of these people that I feel as if I have to keep it real with people, the conversations that I have with guys, I can look at the confidence in certain guys and I can tell who's who. We have no problem ranking ourselves amongst each other and sitting in a room with each other. I know when I'm in a room and I'm the alpha dog in the room. And I know when I'm in a circle and I'm not the alpha dog in the room. I know when I'm the funniest one in the circle. I know when I'm the smartest man in the room. I know when I'm just the fly on the wall. I'm just sitting back, shutting up and soaking up the information.
Hmm.
You know when your insecurities are being tapped into because you're around people who are at a level that's much higher than yours and you can't comprehend. You know when you feel the need to overcompensate or overvalidate yourself because you don't feel secure in what you know or what you think that you know. We know this as men, whether we openly admit it all the time, we do. And I don't know whether or not women have that same level of self awareness or not, but I know that when certain subjects come up and Midas is talking, I know that that's the resident expert. Now shut up. I have no right to speak when that man is talking. I know that. Why? Because I can't. He can give you step by step pieces of how to do what he knows how to do that I have no idea how to even begin. What am I talking for? That's
And
how
that
it
goes
is in the
vice
world of
versa.
men.
That goes vice versa. And another thing in the man world is we have no problem checking each other.
Oh yeah.
You, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, I think that we need to do more of that. I think we need to get back to that aspect of things. Even if
Yeah.
it's not blatant and right there, but pulling somebody to the side and saying, yo, hey, stop it. You not that guy.
Yeah.
You not a thug.
No problem doing that.
And it's like I think that we've gotten away from it. I think that we've gotten to this place to where we just burrow ourselves off in our own section and we just like, okay, I'm gonna just leave him out there and let him figure it out on his own. I think that when men by and large hold men accountable, we can receive it better on the back end. We don't
Mhm.
like getting called out up front, but I think that we do a much better job of receiving it after the fact. So it's like, you know what? I really wasn't feeling what you said to me the other day, but after further review, you're absolutely right. I need to get it together. You know
Mhm.
what? I have been lazy. I haven't been holding myself to a standard. I do need to get it together.
Yeah, just like me and you had that talk. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking. Woo, woo, woo. I'm 15 pounds down, and I'm still going,
It's still going.
holding each other accountable.
And that's what it all boils down to is the fact that you can't just be in amongst your comfort zone. If you my friend, you my homie, you my whatever, and I'm not telling you to check yourself, you don't really mean to me what you think it is, and vice versa. You are not my man if you won't pull me to the side and say, bro, you look like a fool. Stop dressing like that. Like, yo, stop wearing your hair like that. You look a clown. Like, yo,
Mhm.
stop purporting yourself like that. You don't have to curse every other word or every other sentence. You don't have to use these words. You're too old to be carrying yourself like that. That's not my man if I'm not willing to pull him to the side and know, yo, this is what it is. Take it or
Especially
leave
the
it.
hair dog. And I know that we got the crown act, but come on, man. The sideshow Bob, come on, man.
Listen, the thing is that the market, and this is one thing, and I'm going to close out my portion after I say this. The market dictates what it wants. So at the end of the day, it's like you can give me all the fluff, all the talking points, all of this, all of that. You can give me whatever you want to give me and say whatever it is that you want to say, but the market will dictate what it wants. So if they want more of these, outside of the involuntary low cut like I got, if they want more clean cut people to represent their company that they built with their blood, sweat, and tears, then that's what they're gonna hire.
Exactly.
Call it discrimination, call it whatever it is that you wanted to. When you got a minimum wage situation, and I have to think about what face is going to best represent me getting some money, and I look at my clientele, and I have to make a decision, and I know that my clientele may want to see that blonde haired, blue eyed girl in the front window rather than seeing the dark skinned brother. I'm in business.
Yes.
My clients gonna want to spend money to see that. Most businesses are gonna do what's in the best interest of the business.
Correct. And
So
not only that, it's their money. They get to decide who they want to give it to or not. And I think that part of it gets lost. It's their money. It's not your money. You're there trying to get their money. You need to put on the best showmanship ever so that you can get to that bag.
I think a lot of it at this point in time really boils down to the fact that there's an aspect of reality that we have to get back to. And aside from the concept of playing stupid games, winning stupid prizes, it's like I feel like anytime that you're trying to buck against a system just for the sake of being disruptors, fine. Some systems need to be disrupted. I'm perfectly with that. But I'm also a firm proponent of I'm not going to fight you over yours. I just go get my own. If I don't like your rules on the court, I'll just go buy my own basketball. I just go buy a goal and I hang it up outside my house and I just shoot around outside my crib. If I just got to do that. If I don't like your rules, I'm not gonna play by your rules. If I'm just so adamant that your rules suck, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go do this. Your school got an issue with the way that my kid wears hair. Okay, either I'm gonna cut my kid hair, I'm gonna take my kid out that school. No problem.
That's it.
Y'all keep y'all do
You
y'all.
always options. Pick one.
I'm gonna take the option that's based off of what I have direct control over. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all thing. I'm not. I don't care because of the fact that the inherent hate or discrimination or whatever it is that's going on inside of you does not go away because you pass legislation. It just means that you're gonna find another way to backdoor me.
Yeah.
You don't solve the problem. You just pacify the problem from being an overt behavior to an inherent one.
Yes. I
But
mean,
anyway,
it goes back to what I just said. It's their money. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what, like you said, regardless of whatever legislation passes, this is still business. And I am in the business for the satisfaction of customers who are paid. And I need to put in place the best possible faces that are going to help bring in this money so that I can then in turn give you a check. I can eat, you can eat the business, the lights, the gas, the water, everything can stay on. You, sir, you, ma'am, are not coming in here looking like that you are ready to be on board to represent this company in the full capacity and the optimal capacity that it needs to be represented in. I cannot give you money. And that's the end of it. You walk away and say, this business ain't for me then. If you feel that you don't need to change the way you look, tattoos all over your face, pink, purple, yellowish, greenish hair, and you think that's perfectly fine working in this particular establishment, I think that that person or company or owner should have full authority to say, I'm sorry, you are not a fit here.
as you have the right to say, hey, if I'm not a good fit for this company, so what? Okay, I'll find another company I am a good fit for.
Another company.
I'll find another company I'm a good fit for.
I don't think that's discrimination.
I mean,
I never said you're black, you can't work here. You're white, you can't work here. It's just the way that you presented yourself to me does not fit our culture. We like our gentlemen to wear their hair in fades with, very clean cut. Their beard is nice and rounded shaped, whatever. That's it. Are you okay with that? No? I'm sorry, you cannot. That's part of the uniform here. You know, wearing your hair a certain way is part of the uniform. And if you're not willing to wear your uniform, you can't work it.
So we definitely gonna touch base on this a little bit more as we get into the next week. I mean, not next
Yeah.
week, as we get into our Friday show. In the meantime, we got 300 subscribers, and we need
Let's
more.
go.
Y'all see that thing down there? Y'all see that at the bottom of the screen? That is us coming to
You
y'all.
got
Asking
one.
y'all
Use it.
take y'all cellular devices, put that little camera thing over there. I got an iPhone, so mine's is better than his. But you take this little thing, turn that camera on right there, and y'all scan that little QR code right there in front of y'all. We ask y'all to go to the YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page, be a part of what we're trying to build currently. Help us get to that magic number that we're trying to get to. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so that you guys can get all the latest content that we release, because it's not just this, it's some inspirational shorts that we release. There's also chopped up content, a little bit easier to consume than sitting through hours long of the shows. So we're definitely dropping content on a regular basis. Every single day there's new content dropping. Please become a patron of the channel and just join in by scanning that QR code or looking us up on YouTube at The Extraordinary Men Podcast.
That's it.
It's so easy a caveman can do it. And me being a certified caveman,
All rights reserved, dude. We don't own that tagline. We don't want to get sued.
so tell them about the Facebook group.
So make sure y'all get over there to the Facebook group, the Extraordinary Men Facebook group. That is where you can connect with us directly. So if you want to talk to us about any concerns, anything that we said in the show, any new ideas that you want to talk about that we can present in the show, that is where you can contact us directly, and we can talk about it, come to a general consensus, and bring it to the show for the world to talk about. So yeah, we're not hiding. Come talk to us. We don't bite.
Or if y'all want that smoke, we got smoke for y'all all day long, straight up.
Yeah.
Man, if you want it, you can find it. I'm joking. All right, but anyway, that's our time, guys. We went a little overtime today, but we just appreciate the fact that y'all stopped through, came to kick it with us today, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is Phil Jones, aka Mike Jones. How you guys know me personally, professionally, and you guys know the bomb dropper, the number one bomb dropper, Dandada. State your name.
Make sure you put the finger with it too when you do it, when you say it, all right? When you repeat it. I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go. And we out here.
It's our show today. Peace.